Shalom. I want to first start off giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto our apostles as well as the men that taught them, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. And I'm going to get into this article from Crafting Your Home, the job section of it. All right, this is off the news break app on my phone. I believe they come on pretty much all these smart devices, these Androids, the news break. So this is the Crafting Your Home and the job section again. And what this shows is that this is one other indicator that America is finished. And the scriptures America has different code names: Babylon the Great, spiritually Egypt and Sodom. All right, Assyria, so forth and so on. There's other code names. All right, the land of confusion. Yep. So this is another indicator, big time indicator that this place is finished. Okay, and when we use the term finished and through or done, what are we saying? That this place is totally destroyed. Okay, in a moral sense, it's no moral fabric here at all. We in the red with morality and the negative. Infrastructurally, financially, that's where the economy falls under that category. Poor household management. We have a credit-based system that's imploding. Okay, what's causing pretty much further destruction on the people. You know, hardships to where people cannot maintain their cost of living because the economy is all jacked up. I mean, the job market is all screwed up. Okay, socially, you know, the social climate of this place is horrible. People ready to kill each other over the simplest things, the simplest or smallest infractions against another person. Okay? Well, this place is through. I want to get into this article. All right, and I have a couple of scriptures to get into. And I want to make some points. All right, as well. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to try to run through this article pretty quick. I'm not going to read everything. But it says, Gen Z is getting fired at record levels, and employers blame these 9 habits. Yeah, I wonder where these 9 habits are developed from. And you can say, oh, it's the parents. Ultimately, it's this place. Ultimately, it's the whole setup of this society. It's the reason for the behavior of all people. But this article is focusing on the Gen Z, Generation Z. All right. So it says, let's read. It says, so finally you secure a bag and landed a big girl job, but are you actually safe? It sounds dramatic, but the numbers painting the 2025 labor market don't lie, according to a startling intelligent.com report. So this information or this data is based upon intelligent.com, from the intelligent.com report. All right. It says 6 in 10 employers admitted to firing recent college graduates just months after hiring them. Even scarier, 1 in 6 hiring managers is now hesitant to hire from this generation entirely. It says, so let's get to it. Well, I read this. It says, I remember my first job. I was terrified. I didn't even ask for a stapler. But today, the vibe has shifted. Employers are facing maturity gap that is leading to record turnover rates. It is a generational clash or a failure of the system. All right, it's asking a question. It says, is it a generational clash or a failure of the system? It's it's a bit of both. Ultimately, it's the failure of this fucking system because this system destroys. It does not build. It doesn't build character. It doesn't build maturity. Now, I was going into how this technology pretty much hinders you in those areas. Okay, it dumbs you down. It it teaches you how to think and not to think. All right. So let's get into it. It says here are the 9 specific habits that bosses say are getting Zoomers sent home early. The lack of initiative and motivation. And in this sense, I don't blame them. Nobody, whether it's Generation Z or any of the people here in Babylon the Great, nobody's motivated or has initiative on the job. And knowing that though, because we the ones that are not a part of the Gen Z, the Generation Z population, yeah, there never has been much of a motivation to go to work or incentive to be initiative or have initiative on a job. All right, but we still, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, some jobs, that pay you well, which that's not the case here in these times. It's hard to find a good paying job. So they pay you, that creates incentive or initiative and motivation. But let's read up on this a little bit. It says employers want go-getters, but they're finding quiet quitters instead. Man, get the hell out of here. Don't nobody want to be a go-getter on your oppressive jobs, or they overwork you and they underpay you. Okay? Then you get your money taxed. So who's motivated? Who wants to be a go-getter for this shitty ass job in this shitty ass job market? All right, it says a massive 50% of managers surveyed cited a lack of motivation or incentive as top reason for letting Gen Z hires go. Instead of jumping in to help, new hires often wait to be told precisely what to do step by step. It says this act your wage mindset might work for TikTok, but it destroys trust in a collaborative office. Bosses aren't looking for robots. They need problem solvers who don't need a manual for every single task. Yes, like I mentioned, this generation, they don't think. They want the technology to do all the work for them. They just think they just got to show up and everything else is going to happen. It says communication skills, so that's number one. No initiative and no motivation. Yeah, right. And I don't blame them. Communication skills are falling flat. Yeah, because watch what it says right here. It says, ever wonder why no one picks up the phone anymore? It turns out that phone phobia is a real career killer. 39% of managers fired recent grads specifically for poor communication skills. The reliance on text and Slack has left many unable to handle face-to-face conflict or pick up on nonverbal cues. You see? So this generation is so used to communicating through FaceTime, through text message, all these different, messaging, that they don't have no communication skills face to face. Okay? It says professionalism. Not even gonna read the next. Well, I'll read it. It says, before I get to the next one, which is number 3, it says, I've seen this firsthand, emails that read like DMs, a total freeze up with the client's call. So instead of properly responding to an email, they respond. Instead of they respond to emails as if they're writing a DM. In the corporate world, you can't ghost a difficult conversation and expect to keep your desk. But these dummies, these generation expect that. It says, so this is that was number what? That's number 2. So this is number 3. It says professionalism is practically non-existent. We aren't just talking about tardiness, though that's huge. We're talking about basic office etiquette. 46% of employees cite a lack of professionalism as a key reason for firing, according to intelligent.com. Stories of new hires leaving trash in shared spaces or using inappropriate language are becoming all too common. It's gotten so bad that 9 in 10 managers believe recent grads need formal etiquette training. Why? Why? Why, when we've spent, or I'll say they have spent, what, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, 12 years in public school. Okay? And they don't have what is it called? They don't have any type of office etiquette. Aren't you supposed to be preparing these children for the real world? So this school system is bullshit. And then furthermore, they go off to college. So say they didn't get it in college. College is supposed to be preparing you to get out here in the workforce, right? Or supposedly for a career. Well, most of them just end up here in this working a dead end job, right? But with all this schooling, they're not teaching you about how to conduct yourself in the real world, on a job, in an office setting, or whatever the case may be. It says it has gotten so bad that 9 in 10 managers believe recent grads need formal etiquette training. Why? They just got out of college. They should have gotten that in college to show you that this place is through. College don't do shit for you. Neither does this public school system. Just to function in an office, yeah, you need. Wow, you should have got that. You really got that in your house. Just to know how to carry yourself, that should transition over into when you're at work. To be respectful, be polite, clean up after yourself. You know. It says Yeah, you should learn that at home. But if you go to college, college is supposed to prepare you for jobs, right? High school is supposed to prepare you to get out here and work. So this whole system is failing. It says if you're waiting for the janitor to clean up your lunch wrapper, you're doing it wrong. So that was 3, 4. They can't handle constructive feedback. Yeah, because you can't tell them shit. All right, without them getting in their emotions and feelings because they think they know it all. They think they got it figured out. These little fucking just generation think they know it all. They don't know shit. But this technology has gave them a false sense of uh, knowledge. And got them to thinking that they super smart and they know every goddamn thing and they don't know shit. It says resilience is a muscle, and apparently it has been exercised. It hasn't been exercised enough. More than half of the companies surveyed stated that the Gen Z hires do not respond well to feedback. Instead of seeing a critique as a chance to grow, many view it as a personal attack or toxic behavior. You see, they are in that spirit of do as thy will. I'm doing what I want, how I want, and don't tell me anything about it. And this system through this technology have created that behavior. Not only through the technology, but through the indoctrination. These people are soft. Any little any little thing can trigger the emotions out of these people. It's a big soft ass country. All right. Then that was that number 4. Hold on, let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5. The Google reflex kills problem solving. Yep. Why think when you can just research or just search? Employers report that young workers often struggle with deep analytical thinking because they are used to instant answers. 34% of managers cited inadequate problem solving abilities as a reason for termination, according to the survey by intelligent.com. When the internet doesn't have the answer, work grinds to a halt. Companies need thinkers who can connect the dots, not just regurgitate what's on the first page of Google results. Yep. So that shows us that the technology is dumbing everybody down. The only one who's not getting dumbed down by this technology, okay, because we're in this technology has made it to where we have information at the push of a button, at the access of our fingertips. Okay, the only and it's hurt. Instead of that, this information area being a benefit to the people, even though they find out, and I'm just generalizing this part. People find out different information and on whatever it be, whether it's the exposing of this country, all right, exposing of the so-called white man and all the dirt he's done, or whether it be health information or whatever it may be. Ultimately, it's hindering the people. All right. The only one that this technology is beneficial towards is the ones of us that have this truth. Okay. So we don't have to go in to the library. Okay, like our apostles and elder bishops and even some of us elders. Because when I first came into the truth, yeah, you could get on there on the internet and find a lot of stuff, but we were still going to the libraries and getting in the books to a degree, not like the apostles and the elder bishops had to do. Okay, but as time went on, you don't have to. We didn't have to go to the library. Get into check out books to look up certain information. All right. Now everything's right here on the internet. You can look it up quick. Okay. And what has this done to the Gen Z population or group? It is fucked them over big time to where they can't even function. These young was supposed to be young adults can't even function on a job, a basic job. You see, a lot of them don't even know how to count change. Literally. So that was number 5. It says entitlement is running rampant. We all want to be the CEO, but usually not on the first day. But usually not on day one, excuse me. Yet 29% of hiring managers describe recent grads as entitled. There is a frequent expectation of rapid promotion, high salaries, and flexibility before proving any value to the team. Right. And even though this man will rip you off with your pay, okay, underpay you, you know, we still understand that you're not just going to go on a job and get a promotion in 2 months or 3 months. All right. That you're not going to get a raise after the first few weeks. All right. So it shows you that, people are understood, they'll gripe and say how they getting effed over on the job and this job ain't worth the shit. But when they showed up to the job, they did their job. All right. Or do their job. And don't live in fantasy land thinking that, I just got on this job. I know all this information. I'm gonna get promoted. I'm entitled to get promoted within 3 weeks, within a month, 2 months, or get a raise. Shit, you may not get a raise on a job outside of your little cents. There's so many cents they give you every year. Okay. And these little dummies, are entitled on a job. But what does this show? America's finished, and this place is failed. It's a failure in the system. People's mindset. The government is in control because the government means what? Gov meaning control, and mint goes back to mind. So the government is in control of the state of the condition of the minds of the people. It says then this number, that was 6. This is 7. Dress codes are causing significant confusion. And can't forget these funky, freaky hairdos that they have. Especially Jake. Jake show up on a job with these dreadlocks, colors all in their hair, all these little funny ass hairstyles, and expect to be taken seriously. It says the office siren trend might look fire on Instagram, but it's causing headaches in HR. 58% of hiring managers disapprove of Gen Z's dress code sense, citing outfits that are too revealing or overly casual for client-facing roles. It's a confusing time for fashion, sure, but showing up in sweatpants and club wear signals you don't take this role seriously. Right, that's another thing. You know, This generation is they don't take shit serious. Everything's a goddamn joke. They have a nonchalant mentality about themselves, about life. Oh, I just float through life, and everything's just supposed to. Life is just supposed to fall into place for them. That's their mindset. Okay, I can just, the way I hang around the house, and I can just show up to work that way, or with a bad attitude. If you don't have to ask, it says if you don't. I'm sorry. If you have to ask if it's appropriate, it probably isn't. Check this out. Parents are crashing the workplace. This is ridiculous right here. It says this is arguably the most shocking trend. Nearly 1 in 10 hiring managers has had a candidate, 1 out of 10, bring a parent to an interview. What the hell is going on? That show you that these parents are even bugged out. Some reports even indicate parents calling bosses to negotiate salaries or complain about workload. That's funny. And it's ridiculous. And it's showing you that America has created zombies. That's why this man is, coming with the what they call the fourth revolution, the mixing of man and machine, because there's no more use for this generation, and really for none of these people. Believe it or not, the generations above the Gen Z are not too far away from the Gen Z population. There's not much of a gap between. There's a gap, but not much, because these people here in Babylon the Great are bugged out, and they stupid. And a big reason for that, you can thank this technology. You would think with all this great technology, that how technology is advancing, that humans should be advancing with it. But the humans are at a decline. This technology is advancing, and the mind state and set of humans are deteriorating, especially here in America. Especially here in America. All right? It says this level of dependency screams, I am not ready for adulthood. If your mom has to fight your battles, an employer knows that you won't be able to handle a demanding client on your own. Digital addiction. This is the last one, number 9. It says it is hard to work when you're doom scrolling. 78% of employers cite excessive phone use as a major complaint. The inability to disconnect from the screen for an hour-long meeting is viewed as time theft and blatant disrespect. Okay, so there's definitely no use for this generation. How they say the children are the future. So imagine if Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai didn't come and destroy this place. All right, and America was to go on without, say, the plans of the elites, then this place would be fucked, doomed to have these incompetent individuals running this country. So that's why, Esau just said, we don't need the people. He's done his job by dumbing down the people, okay? Especially the Gen Z generation. And now there's really no more use for the people. That's why this man wants to decrease the population big time in the earth. And then instead of having you think for yourself and be a thinker, no, this man wants to, like I mentioned, the fourth industrial revolution, what they call the fourth industrial revolution, the mixing of man and technology, or man and machine, to pretty much turn these people into drones. All right. They can't think for themselves. Now let's hit a couple of scriptures. I want to first bring out Daniel 12 and 4. It says, "But thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end." So at the end, which we're in the end, this the understanding of the scriptures was going to be opened up through the preaching of the gospel. And that's happened. All right. It says, "Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." And how? How is knowledge going to be increased? Through this technology. All right. Going to this technologically advanced world that we live in. Okay. While technology has been increased, all right, the minds of the people is at a decline, a major decline because of the technology. And that article I brought out is a good example on how this technology has affected people, but especially the Gen Z group. Okay, it's dumbed down the population big time. You know, it's probably very few people that still know how to even use a road atlas to get around the country, or like different road maps, get around your city. Okay, math skills probably decline because you just can get on your smartphone and let the calculator do it for you. And these calculators are not basic like the older calculators. It says, so that's pretty much it on that. So what's the result? Destruction. People are destroyed to where you have a generation that can't even function on a job in a very basic way. They don't know how to talk, dress, can't stay off their phone. They have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. All right. They have no communication skills. You better believe they don't have all that. They don't have any social skills. Okay. So this is a destroyed group. But not only them, everybody's fucking destroyed. And this is what this place does to you. I'll bring this out in Micah 2 and 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." It's talking about here in America because it is polluted. Can't forget about that too. The food they're eating, all right, the air you're breathing, the water you're drinking, so forth and so on. Everything is polluted. So to go along with this, the technology putting people at a disadvantage through it pretty much handicapped society, where people want their phone, this technology to do every goddamn thing for them, especially the Gen Z population. Okay, it's totally destroyed them. And what does destroyed mean? I got it pulled up right here, and I'll be quick with it. I'll go down to the bottom right here where it says literally unbuild. It's a compound word with D. It's un or down, and then stray, strew. Hold on. I'm sorry. D plus struer, to pile, build. All right. So to tear down the bill or unbuild. And that's what this place does. It tears you down. It does not build you up. And I'm not even talking about, with this truth, just with being a well-mannered, all right, functioning individual that can go and work a job, okay? Or that can think, that has critical thinking skills. This place doesn't build you up to use your mind. Is basically geared to you using this technology to function. Okay? Because that's what America has become. This technologically advanced through AI, automation, robotics, the internet, the transmission of signals, and the picking up of frequencies. All right, to utilize this technology. So let's go back to Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. You're here in America because it is polluted." Yep, everything's polluted. Everything. It shall destroy you. It won't build you. This place does not build you up. And what is this talking about, arise and depart? It's talking about you got to come up out of the way, the indoctrination of Babylon the Great. All right? Which tears you down. You got to come out of this westernized mindset. Even though we use this technology and all of that, we know that the Heavenly Father is about to destroy this. The main reason we use, like, for example, the smartphones and stuff is for this truth, to put our videos up, all right, to research, maybe to read. Most people use this just for entertainment or for their business, all right, business and entertainment. It says, "It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction." And if you don't have this truth, all right, if you haven't been called into this truth, for us Israelites anyway, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, you're destroyed. Your mind is putty, all right? This place don't build you up. It tears you down. It handicaps you. It depresses you. It stresses you, oppresses you, all that stuff. And the technology definitely plays into it. All right. They show people that's, which that's everybody, that's addicted to these phones, stay in these phones and on these apps and on social media. That's what it is. Social media are some of the more the super depressed. All right. So this social media depresses you. But people can't get enough of it. All right. If they don't get enough likes and seeing them leaving them little icons and emojis popping up on their phone, it depresses them. This is the world we live in, man. So I'm gonna end right there. You bring out that. I just want to bring out that article to show that this is another sign that America's finished. Have a whole generation that's incapable of keeping a job, and this is taught college graduates. College graduate can't hold on a damn job because this system has crippled them, handicapped them. And big way, the main way is through this technology, all right, and through indoctrination, They're getting this technological indoctrination in school. They're moving more and more away from paper and pencils and being practical about things, and they're using these laptops and technology to do everything. Even the communication with parents and teachers is all through the computer. Most of it, they want to get online and do everything. You see, and that trickles down onto the children, which become what's the word I want to use? Damn, I can't think of a word. Basically, a group of young adults that are incapable of being an adult. So I'm gonna end right there. Lord willing, this video was edifying. And until the next one, I say shalom.